Right now, my pedal, it feels like it has a ton of air in it, but it didn't yesterday. Let's get shifted. Alright, so I'm walking up to my truck thinking it's the front brakes. I've got some of my tools, and then I see this. So then I'm like, well, that can't be just water. I have a severe leak from my right rear caliper. It looks almost as if my brake pad has slipped out somehow of the caliper. But I am leaking all over. And it's getting worse by the minute. So we're actually pretty lucky we even had brakes to just do that test drive. Alright, let's get after it. I just got the wheel off, and you can see, hopefully, right there, here, that's my brake pad. That is supposed to be clocked in there. So that's why my my cylinders are leaking right now, is because they've pushed all the way out and they don't have anything to stop them because the brake pad's supposed to be in there. Alright, so I need to get this caliper taken apart and push that wheel cylinder back in, caliper cylinder, whatever your piston, and then I'm going to go get some new brake pads. Okay, so right now we're trying to compress this piston with a C-clamp so that we can stop the leaking. You can see it's kind of crooked. I'm just going to slowly try to get it to straighten back out and go back in there. And there it goes. Okay, now I'm going to slide all the way to the back of the cylinder and push it in. Actually, that's not going to work because it's a double cylinder. So I'm going to take the outside brake pad. I guess I just didn't realize I needed brakes. Put it right there so that I can get an even squeeze. I'll turn the C-clamp around this way. So what I'm finding now is that this seal is leaking around the piston. It also looks like my piston rubbed on my rotor for I don't know how long, but it burned it up. It burned this one up too. So it looks like I'm going to have to replace those. Alright, now I'm going to work on getting this brake pad from inside of this rotor. Kind of busy. This is the caliper mounting bracket. Oh wow. Yeah, I'd say it was time for some new pads. My squeaking, there's no squeak pin on these. Well, there is a squeak. Oh, it's broken off. Wow. The reason I didn't know I was so low on pad, this little tab right here, when you get low to a certain point, they scrape on your rotor, and they make it very obvious that you have a brake problem. It's like nails on a chalkboard. And on this brake pad, the actual, I call it the squeaker, but I think it's called a wear indicator bar. That is non-existent. I mean, this pad is toast. So yeah, we'll get these replaced and see what else we have to do. Okay, right now I'm trying to have learned my lesson from the Chevelle. Crack this bleeder before I get it on the truck. But 3/8, it looks like a 3/8 to me. 3/8 doesn't seem to be fitting. No, it's not a 9mm either. So 10mm in a socket works pretty close. I'm going to use a 10mm. Now I know when I have the hose on here, I'm not going to be able to use the socket. All I'm trying to do is break this seal from where it's been sitting in there so that I can adjust it while it's on the car, on the truck. So the 9mm socket didn't work. The 10mm wrench is, I mean, I guess it's close enough. So anyway, we have that broken, the seal broken now on that. So when I go to bleed it, I'm not rounding off this bleeder, just trying to get it loose from the housing from where it sat on the shelf. Lesson learned from the Chevelle. Now I'm just going to check that my guide pins have been greased. And I can actually see grease right there. Check that they move freely. Looks like they do. Let's go put this on the truck. There's all the brake fluid that was in the caliper. That's cool. It's just the soft line bracket that I was putting on there. So the torque spec for these big bolts back here is like something ridiculous, like 152 foot-pounds of torque or something like that. So we'll knock that out. All right. I'm just taking the lug nuts and the special socket that they came with, and just getting the threads started so that I don't potentially cross thread them with my impact driver. I got the old girl stopping great now. You'll probably notice I have some different wheels and tires on.
I actually got this. I got this set of wheels from the friend of mine that I put the lift on. He gave me these because he was getting aftermarket wheels and tires. I'm actually about to go get some new tires. These are pretty close to being done. I was wrong in the last video I did on this truck where I said I thought that the brake turning, like the rotor turning job, had made it so that it sounded like it was grinding. It was all that rear wheel, that rear brake just rubbing on the rotor. It's turned out to be a totally fine, good, perfect solution. No noises when braking, no noises when driving. I have no issues really at all with it. It's pretty much brand new. Stay tuned for the Jeep. We have a lot of work we're going to do on that. I've noticed a lot of crazy stuff that's gone on with that thing, and I'd really like you guys to be along for the ride. So if you like this video, please subscribe and throw a like in there. If you have any comments on like how you would have caught it faster, I know that I learned on this one that you don't just check the front brakes, even if it sounds like the braking is only coming, or the sound is only coming from the front. You should check the rear. I had a squeak. It sounded like a chirp. Always sounded like it was the front left. I took out, I cleaned the journeys for the brake calipers in the front. I changed them. I changed the rotor, or I got the rotors turned. Never went away until I replaced that rear brake, and now I have no chirping, no squeaking. It is dead silent, and when I brake, it's solid. If you're going to check your fronts, you might as well check the rears, because you don't know where that sound's coming from, and it doesn't hurt to take a few extra minutes to check the rears. Please throw a comment in below and let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know if you learned anything from this video. I'd be really interested to see that. And thank you for your time. I hope you were shifted.